This is the strangest missile in the world. It bends in flight like a snake. When an enemy fighter pilot sees a writhing missile catching up with him, he feels doom. In such a situation, there is practically no way of escaping because the missile maneuvers violate aerodynamic laws. This mechanism provides several advantages, which we will discuss in detail. MUTANT stands for Missile Utility Transformation via Articulated Nose Technology. American engineers worked on this project for 6 years. While the project budget is still classified, details about the technology and real-world testing results have been released. MUTANT missile differs from all other missiles because of its deviating nose. It can deviate up to 45 degrees. That is why it is compared to a snake. Jet-powered flying objects usually maneuver with wings or by changing their thrust vector, so a moving nose is unusual. As a result, when a rocket has a deflectable thrust vector, it is not used for extreme maneuvering, but for correcting the course of a rocket. The thrust vectoring system is also very cumbersome and expensive, typically used on aircraft or heavy ballistic missiles. Wings are the primary means of maneuvering rockets. There is no doubt that the wings and stabilizers on the rocket's body are necessary. Their presence limits the speed and range of the missile. However, without plumage, a rocket could not follow the predicted trajectory. The MUTANT missile is an unusual rocket. The kite missile does not have wings. The flexible nose allows it to do without them. When the rocket needs to maneuver to the right or left, it deviates in the appropriate direction. A movable nose gives the missile fantastic maneuverability. The MUTANT missile's first advantage is its mobility. In front of the rocket body is a hinged mechanism with electric drives that maneuvers. The tool is hidden behind a layer of elastic composite materials. The control module is responsible for timely turning. Even though the elastomer and mechanism are flexible and adaptable, they can handle high overloads during sharp turns and maneuvers. The ability to change direction quickly provides an advantage in combat. Several aircraft have means of countering air-to-air missiles. These include anti-missile systems, thermal traps, and radio frequency traps that affect the homing head. However, the MUTANT missile easily bypasses these obstacles due to extreme maneuvering. The fighter's onboard systems fixed that the Snake missile was flying past a moment before the explosion, but when it turned toward the target, bang, the target was destroyed. As a result, some top-class pilots can evade missiles. Experience and skill can really save a pilot's life. When an enemy fighter pilot encounters a MUTANT missile, he has a slim chance of surviving, as a large aircraft is inferior to this twist and twist missile in maneuver speed and turning radius. A second advantage of the MUTANT missile is its ability to maintain a maximum speed of more than 1,000 miles per hour. In conventional rockets, the speed drops significantly when the wings accomplish maneuvering. As a result, the missile fails to reach the target, triggering the self-destruct mechanism. With a rotary nose, however, the lost speed is minimal, which results in a greater chance of hitting the target. MUTANT missiles have another advantage. They destroy a higher percentage of targets than conventional air-to-air missiles. In reality, air-to-air missiles have a small warhead, about 10% of the total mass, and their primary weight comes from the engine, fuel, control electronics, and guidance systems. If you increase the weight of the warhead, then the aircraft will take on board fewer missiles. Of course, a small amount of ammo negatively affects a fighter's survival in combat. Therefore, the more missiles, the better it is. The slight weight of the warhead is compensated for by the fact that for most air targets, only minor damage causes the aircraft to lose control and fall to the ground. Therefore, the warhead does not detonate at the point of contact with the target, but at a distance from the target. It is more likely to hit a target if a fan of fragments is flying around. In this concept, however, the blast wave spreads evenly 360 degrees around its epicenter, so only 15 to 30% of fragments reach the targets, with the rest flying into space. This disadvantage does not exist with the MUTANT missile. Due to the hinge system, the MUTANT rocket can carry a guided explosion charge. The missile's nose turns so that most flying fragments dig into the aircraft or any other target a moment before the explosion. It is astonishingly effective. This is the most revolutionary part. The flexible nose of the mutant missile allows you to do without a warhead while maintaining the missile's deadly capability. Kinetic interception is a concept developed by American Tactics. In the United States, missiles of this type are already in service. In place of a warhead, they use a metal block of the same mass. The target is hit by kinetic energy, not by an explosion. For example, it would be interesting to mention the super-secret R9X missile, developed based on the AGM-114 Hellfire missiles. In February 2017 and January 2019, R9X kinetic missiles were used to eliminate the leaders of terrorist organizations in Syria and Yemen. These missiles did not even contain an ounce of explosives. Since anti-terrorist strikes were conducted on ground targets, 6 movable blades were placed on the R9X missile's body to increase its area of destruction, as indicated by the distinctive cracks in the roof of the destroyed terrorist vehicle. The blades were folded during the flight, so they did not interfere with the flight. Just as the blades were about to collide with the target, they spread out like a rough fin. The terrorists had no chance of surviving. It would take a long time to list all the advantages of missiles without a warhead, so let us focus on 2 that are most important. 1. The safety of missiles during transportation, storage, and installation. 2. There will be no detonation in the event of warehouse damage. As an example, if an enemy bomb or missile enters a warehouse with 300 mutant missiles that are not equipped with warheads, the explosion will not detonate. Probably the epicenter of the impact will not be affected. They can be used in the future. Flexible missiles were first proposed in the mid-1950s, but a lack of suitable materials made it impossible to implement them. Finally, the time has come. After the 6th-generation fighter, the mutant air-to-air missile has appeared, which also belongs to the 6th generation. The latest fighter is being tested as part of the Next Generation Air Dominance, or NGAD program. Our channel features videos about the 6th generation multi-role fighter bomber, part of the same program. Videos about this outstanding aircraft are available on our channel. A new generation of aircraft will be armed with mutant missiles. However, flexible missiles can still be used on existing carriers. Probably the first mutant missiles to receive the MQ-9 Reaper drones, which are now on duty over the Black Sea inside international waters. Despite the admissibility of flights in this zone, Russian fighters regularly provoke conflict, leading to a tragic outcome. The MQ-9 Reaper took off from its base in Romania on a planned reconnaissance mission. It was unarmed and was conducting reconnaissance about 75 miles southwest of Crimea. In the meantime, 2 Russian Su-27 fighters were nearby and dropped fuel several times on an American drone. As a result of such an unarmed attack, the propeller of the MQ-9 Reaper was damaged. The UAV lost control. The operator was forced to sink the MQ-9 Reaper in the international waters of the Black Sea. Russian pilots would not dare to provocation if the MQ-9 Reaper were armed with a mutant missile with no warhead. The latest mutant missiles will gradually replace the existing AIM-120 AMRAAM Advanced Medium Range Air-to-Air Missile and become the main armament for the F-15C, F-15E, F-16, F-A-18, and F-22. By the way, there's also a video about these fighters on our YouTube channel. There's a maximum range of 75 miles for the most modern version of the AIM-120 missile, but this is much less than the Chinese PL-15 missile, which has a range of 185 miles. Also, the Chinese have a more advanced radar system, enabling them to detect threats more effectively. The AIM-120 has been begging for retirement for a long time, and the Snake rocket is prepared to replace it. Another option for replacing the massive but outdated American AIM-120 missiles is the latest AIM-260 JATM. They became the answer to the Russian concept of critical technologies, where Zircon-type hypersonic cruise missiles were developed. We'll have a video about the new AIM-260 JATM on our channel someday. The U.S. Department of Defense has invested billions of dollars in new air defense measures in response to advancements in aviation technology among potential adversaries. The mutant missile and the AIM-260 JATM should be capable of shooting down Russian and Chinese hypersonic missiles. The Mutant missile and the AIM-260 JATM are the first signs of the approaching era of missile weapons. Let's follow this process together. Like this video and subscribe.